fires of Hades are locked up in there. What the heck has happened there? But then, there's something else I'd like to get your opinion on. What are your feelings about the new sheep sales report? I have an opinion of my own, but I'd like to know, just based on what we can read here in this report, what are your feelings? Come on, kitty. Kitty. Oh no, Rocket, don't do it, buddy. Let the cats go first. Let them suffer and possibly die from burnt out esophagus.
But we'll
all be dead soon, Dan. We'll all soon be dead soon. Wait. Let me do more. Can I do more, Dan? Is there any way? Is there any way I could possibly? Is there any possible way I could do possibly? Is there any possible? I'm fine now. Hey, look what we got here. Some delicious homemade turnip greens. I'll make you demonstrate. I'm going to demonstrate the usefulness of these very pre-described turnip greens. And the broth, or as some call this, the pot liquor, or as some would say, the pot calling the kettle black. I don't go for that. I call it the pot calling the kettle yellow. Mellow yellow. Into the pot with the mellow yellow.
Are you getting enough butter?
Yeah. This is Countryside Creamery. Tastes like butter. No butter has been harmed in the making of this product. Wait, maybe we should have a little bit of salt. Salt, it's very important to keep your blood pressure high. I want higher blood pressure than ever before. Cat, you know, pay attention. The cat didn't pay attention,
Damn.
but he will soon. Once we read this, could you get my glasses? I'd like to read this new sheep sales report. Can you help us out here a little with the new sheep sales report?
Okay.
Well,
St. Rodgey Livestock County Limited, Newell, South Dakota, reported receipts of 3,000.
What was the county? What was the county there?
Saint O-N-G-E.
Saints. Our news are the news have received sainthood.
Canonized.
Well, that's not bad. And the sheep. What about were any sheep molested in this?
Why does molestation? Why does that come up?
It's a pedophile sheep priest report. We have to have the pedophile sheep priest. Peace sheep.
Priest.
Report. I left these green. These are the best greens. These are such good greens. There's a turnip green.
What happened with Connor? I don't know the whole story.
Run over and mutilated by a rabid, vicious female horse.
How big?
What? Not as big as her male counterpart. The male counterpart, which was always stepping on Mark's foot, but was just kind of a clumsy oaf, but not vicious in any way, was like a 17 to 20 hand monster weighing in approximately 1,100 pounds. But this female, who some people say she turned this awful creature because she was sexually unfulfilled or mistreated or molested.
How
or
did Connor
abused.
come into that? What did she want from Connor?
Just one passed and ran over him. Says if they
She hit him?
She could have gone around. Yes, yeah.
With her hooves?
Hooves. They're made of hooves. The horses, they're made of hooves, you know, and it's very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous creatures.
Some really satisfied slurping there.
This is good. This is really good broth. Sometimes Connor has to live on broth because you can have no gluten and no Russian Putin. You can have none of that. This is good.
See, Mark doesn't know how important this documentary is. He doesn't.
How could he?
Most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, you're not saying anything that would offend
No, nothing. I can't.
the general
I'm not
masses.
Inspired. I'm not inspired unless once I read this. No. Wait. Look at this, maybe. New sheep sales report. I haven't seen this in a while. This could mean a lot to the economy of the Missouri new sheep people that are trying to
Sheeple?
eke out a living, just barely getting by with sheep while the government and the fat cat deputies gun down their sheep in dog patch related incidents.
Oh, you once said, yeah, we're just trying to barely survive on the necessities of people in cars.
Right, but all that changed when they began gunning down our sheep, especially the male.
What year was that?
ram
What year did
sheep.
that happen?
I have no idea. I can't.
Was it
keep
like
track of the
2008? Was it? Do you think
Obama?
he had anything to do with that?
What year is this?
2011.
8, 11, 10, 9, 8. I think it could have been 2008 pretty easily, or between 8 and 9. 8 and 9. 8 and 9. When, okay, here in 2008, we had George W. Bush. This is George W. here.
Okay.
This will be Obama. This is President Obama. But this is George W. Okay, in early 2008, we collected the cars, and we could buy them for, like, a lot of times people would say, just come get my car, take it away, or give us $25, that's fine. And with George W. Bush at the controls of our country, we were number one. And the cars were bringing like $250 a ton. So a full-size, big, fat, black Cadillac or Lincoln Continental or Chrysler New York or something like that that would weigh 2 tons, that means it was worth like $500. Plus, if you could take the brass radiator off, you could easily have another $40, $50, maybe even $60. And those rims, those aluminum rims, like $9 to $15 each, and there would be 4 of them, up to between 4 and 5 sometimes on one vehicle. So you'll multiply that out and see where you're at. Plus the catalytic converter, they were at all-time high of, like, for GM, $120, medium import, $150. And the special car, this car that only my son Dan could provide for me, but I never reimbursed him any, but was the Volkswagen Jetta that he found us over at the apartment and said, take this away, it's in our way, take it away. We took it away, we cut the catalytic, they said, oh, this is a really special catalytic. We're going to give you 200 and some, like 225, a lot of money. It was like a new record high for catalytic.
One vehicle you had to take back to the people, though, after you'd already towed it to the farm.
This happens sometimes, yeah. It goes with the territory. But anyway, okay, you figure all that. If you figure $500 for junk, like $80 or $100 for the aluminum wheels, $150 to $120 for the catalytic, you're talking about some serious bucks here under George W. Bush, number 1. Plus, that was what we were bringing to the table, bringing in with George, bringing it on in, bringing it in, fattening our bellies with it. Plus, what we were spending out, we weren't spending out. Now, early that summer, we went to B Branch and had to give like $3 or $3.50 for gasoline. But when George W. said, no, I'm not standing for that under my administration. I'm going to see gasoline at $1.23 in Kansas City. And that's what we saw, $1.23 in Kansas City. And I purchased some of that gasoline myself. And I wish to stand for, on behalf of George W. Bush, number 1, not Obama. President Obama is number 2 in my estimation. Number 2, it came later. But
who would you like to be on your ring finger there?
Which is the ring finger? Could you
the next one.
Touch that.
This little pinky right here.
I would like a chunky redhead to be. I'd like to be married and have marital bliss for 27 years.
You're ending the presidential analogy.
A chunky redhead, full figured and fully muscular.
Why is it always a redhead?
I don't know why that is. I don't know. I think it goes back to Anne Margaret and the war between the Koreas, the North Korea and the South Korea. And I was caught like a unwilling, unprepared, unprecedented victim of the
in
two
between
Koreas.
Korea. Yeah,
right,
you're like a tweener Korea.
Yes, I could have. Some people say, you shouldn't have been a fence strider then. But what choice did I have? They sent me over there and said, drive the ambulance, take the blood, see who has syphilis, who doesn't, So you has gonorrhea, who doesn't?
Do you remember anybody who had syphilis?
I remember everybody that had syphilis. But I'm glad to say I was never among the people that had this. But at one time I was a little worried because my so I got some tetracycline from a friend and took the necessary precautions, as we all should under similar circumstances. Then what I want to show you though right now, okay, the new sheep sales report. Can you get a close-up on that? Can you see what's going on here? Can you get the new sheep?
I got it.
Then, okay. Well, we were persecuted on West Nickel Street, right here, where Dan and I attempt to live. Baby. sorry, the technical gear. I digress. I die. Okay. What I want to show you now is what I got here is the new sheep sales report. Can you get us a close up on that one? Yeah, that's good. Okay. What I'm trying to explain is, Dan and I, and what year would that have been, Dan? As I put the camera back over towards you, when the sheep. You
purchased this sheep in 2007.
2007. And who was our president then at that time?
George W. Bush.
George W. Bush. The sheep ran like water over the land, didn't they? And anybody that wanted a sheep could have just reached out and grabbed one, couldn't they?
Yeah.
And they could have, yes, indeed.
Then what happened?
But what happened? What happened then towards the end of the George W. administration? The sheep
were
persecuted?
Yeah.
Impounded possibly?
Yeah.
Gunned down like dogs by the dog pig cops that carries guns and shoot the sheep just for being a sheep?
What about rubber bullets? Could they have used rubber bullets?
Oh, they could have, but they didn't. They gunned them down and laughed, I think. Or laughed about it. And they didn't use the carcasses for food, for the poor. But back then, when we had George W. ruling the land, we didn't have the poor and needy in the welfare state and all that. We just had prosperity and George W. and more prosperity and more George W. And now we have Rick Perry, and he made a misstep, they say. Dad, I don't want my privates engaged. This is not the rescuing of Ryan's privates.